Hello everyone, welcome back to the production pipeline third stage, that is lighting or look and feel development, or sometimes you can say aesthetics development also. So after successful completion of modeling and texturing, now it's the time to get lit up the product or the character here. So here in lighting session we will discuss the entire lighting process in Maya application in 5 sub-module or subsession. We will discuss the introduction of lighting here, then we will discuss about the types of lighting in Maya application. There are several types of lights available in Maya like direction light, ambient light, point light and so on. We will discuss all these lights in detail in practical sessions in upcoming sessions. After completion of lighting, now it's really very essential to assign or lock the camera before start the rendering or before start the lighting in any 3D kind of application. So we will learn how we can work with the camera in Maya application, and we will understand the render setup and batch rendering also here, how we can easily generate image sequence in Maya application. After successful completion of camera understanding and the fundamental of lights, now it's a time to learn the photorealistic lighting with the help of Maya IES profile. After successful completion of these all fundamental options in Maya application, now it's a time to learn some production ready output, that is we will learn Maya interior lighting and the Maya exterior lighting in this coming sessions. After successful completion of these all things, we will learn how we can assign the physical sun and lights in Maya application for daytime rendering. After successful completion of these all sessions, now it's a time to learn the third party render like Arnold, Mental Ray or the 13 in Maya application. So as per industry requirement, we will learn any of these third party application, how we can use Mental Ray based or the Arnold based render in Maya application. Sometimes it's called indirect illumination techniques also. Now let's move to the module number 11, where we will start from the fundamental of lighting and how we can utilize the lighting and their use in Maya application.
Hello everyone and welcome to this course. So in this session we will discuss about the introduction to lighting. So we will start from basics, and here you have the Maya interface. And so what we will do, we will go to Polygon and we will just do a quick setup. That means we just do the quick setup. So I am in normal modes, which is 5 pressing, the box, the cylinder, and one more thing is the sphere. So we have 3 things, and including the this particular part we have 4 things. Okay, we'll put some over here. We'll turn the grid off for a time. Select this, we'll put some over here, we'll put some over here, and also just have to click over here. So now for this session we will understand the concept of lighting, and also we'll just go through its parameter because it's very basics, and so you have to just work out from basics. And let's start. I will go to the rendering tab, and here you have the lighting features which is present over here. Make sure that you are in rendering tab also. When you go up, you will find all the lighting parameters and texturing parameters which is situated in your rendering tab. So that would be fine. And also we are in rendering, so we'll discuss lighting one by one. So for lighting you have to go to attribute editor to adjust some of the settings. So at first this is the ambient light. So clicking over here, your light will be formed at the center. Now this light is basically for lighting a particular area, which may be a huge or a small area. That means it will focus on a particular section. If you press 7, you can see the light. As it's an ambient light, that's why it's just showing your model like this. You can decrease the intensity, and if you see the render, what you will get like this. So you have the shadow which is casting over here, and also if you want to increase the shadow, ray trace shadow, and just shadow radius, shadow rays and shadow limits. So as you can see, let's change the view. As you can see, it's forming the shadow now. And also if you decrease the shadow limits, depth limits, it will not produce like so hard, and it has some soft corners only. As you can see, it just faded off. If you just put around 1, and let's have a look. Just put 1, it will just a little bit fade up your shadow. So right now will be in 0. And also you have object display, so we don't require this because we will discuss later words. If you want to change the color, you can change from here. And now one more features. If you go here, you found the directional light, which is second, the point light, the spotlight, which is third and fourth. So you can change from here also. So this is the area. Now it's changed to area, and this is the directional. So like this way you can change. So I will make manually. So I will go to press 6. Here you have the directional light. If you click over here, now you found the light which is pointing towards here. Okay, so I will just enlarge this, and if you are enlarging the directional light, it will not affect your intensity, as intensity is very much important in lighting, especially in the 3D software. So as you can see, if I press 7, we found nothing, but as you can move this, it really changes. The light detail will change if you move this light. So let's have a render and let's see what happens. So as you can see, it's working quite well, and if you want to change the color, you can change from here. As you can see, it's affecting your scene, so you can also change it from here. If you change the intensity, you can change it quite well, and Control D. Now you have 2 lights. So in a particular scene, if you have 2 or 3 lights, that would be better, because rather than having 1 light at a time, you should go for 2 or 3 lights, and you can also add different colors. So right now I'm not focusing in it. I will just tell you the features. Same, we have the shadow and the mental ray. So here you have the emit photons. What photon does, it will just calculate the internal lighting, and also it will just smooth some of your corners, like this particular section, which has 2 connections. One is the from the model to the surface, and another one is the from polygon to polygon. Okay, that means this phase, one connection, and this model, this part, and the downward part. So it has 2 connections. So it will just bounce that thing, bounce the, you can say, shadows into the corners. So like this way you can increase the emit photon, but it will take time. And okay, so for a time I will just off this thing, and it's coming under mental ray in caustics and global illumination. We will discuss this in detail in later words. So here you have the shadow. So I will just select use mental ray shadow, and also you have the custom shaders, so we don't require this. As you can see, if I select and just have a render, so it's completely depend on the direction of your light. I will increase the intensity by 700. So if you just rotate this, as you can see, the direction of the light gets changed. If you rotate like this, if you render this, as you can see, the direction really changes if you change the arrows. That means the arrow which is facing here, it's facing to the model. Light is coming from here, that means this arrow denotes that particular thing. The source of light is here, somehow here, and just it's falling to the object. So you can change your you can say the direction of the light. So I will discuss another one, which is the point light, also called omni. Okay, so I will click this point light and it's just formed here. And if you go up, as you can see, a soft type of light, this is also known as bulb light. So as you can see, it's bouncing quite well. So in Maya, if you are using any external source of light like physical sun and sky, or the environment light, or the daylight or night light system, then you can put one or two light, that would be fine. But by using this all, you can't just have a good lighting in from only one light. So you have to adjust 2 or 3 lights in that model, or sometimes maybe 5 or 6, so it depends on you. So I just select this light, and here you have the color. So same, the color, and if I select the light and just put or press T button, you found the tangent, which is this. So as you can select, the tangent will move and it will direct the lighting shape. And here you have an arrow, which is a button, toggle button. So if the tangent is facing over here, it has higher intensity at this point and lower intensity at this point. So if you click here, you found one more controls. As you can see, it will fall off your light. So I will just decrease the intensity by 0.500, and also we'll check in the render preview. As you can see, it's bouncing quite well, and we have the darker area also, but we have used only one light, so we'll just go and close that render tab. Now if you click over here, your ordinary light will form without having any tangent. So like this way you can just put your light, and obviously you have shadow and you have depth map shadow, which will create some depth into, and ray trace shadow is basically for reflective surface or refractive surface. So for a time we will check this, because we are in mental ray tab, so you have to check this. If you select any object, right click, assign new material, and I will just select all of them at first. Assign new material, and you have the Fongi. So as you can see, it's getting reflected, and also you can change the transparency level. As you can see, all of them are affecting, because we have put only one texture in all of them. So as you can see, it's reflecting quite well. Trace shadow, so it will bounce the light quite well. And also if you select this light, and if I just go to the top section, we have the light here. And what I will do, I will just off the grid, and we'll just select the light, Control D, we'll put some more over here, and Control D will make a back. Okay, so now what else we will do, go to color, we'll change the lighting color by lighter blue. We'll change this color to, I think, somehow white. And now as you can see, it has 3 lights which is bouncing from here, here and here. So if you just have a view and just look at your render, so what you will get, you will get a cool nice detail. As you can see here, 3 lighting are bouncing on your model, and also your model is producing some sort of ray trace shadow. Okay, so you have shininess, and also this way you can just work with attribute editor. If you want to change the color of the shadow, if you want any image here, you can just go to there, click here, and just have any image, it will just show over here. So if you need mountain, definitely it will show. As you can see, a little bit of changes. As you can see, now it's getting changes, it's producing some sort of texture also, because we have just taken the mountain reference and just put it over here. So yeah, it's working like texture. Okay, so but it's not texture, it's only a map inside your shadow. So each and every panel has its own map. If you select As you can see, this thing, each and every thing has its own map. Okay, each and every light has its own map. So you have the mental ray tab. If you found this checker box, that means it's all go to your map. Map means your image, or maybe which is present in Maya or even in computer. Okay, so you just go over here and just have the images. File will just directly call up your file which is present inside your system, and these are the preloaded textures inside Maya application. Okay, so make sure that whenever you're working in reflective surface, you should on your ray trace and so select and see, just have a look. Okay, fine. So okay, so now we will just delete this light and we'll press 6 again. Now here you have the spotlight. What spotlight does, it will focus and like this. If I press 7, kind of, now it's working quite well. As you can see, this is a like torch light, so you can change. If you want to see from the light, you can go first, select the light, go to panel, and here you have the perspective. So you have in the perspective, but you can go to look through selected. Now you are seeing from the light, as you can see here. So like this I will point. Okay, so go to panel, perspective. Now you have the light which is just casting over here. Change the color to a little bit of bluish, and also the intensity. By default intensity would be 1. You have to change it if you need more. If you are working in a huge light setup, you can have more. So Control D, we'll just duplicate this light. As you can see, both are forming different lights. Here you have the one light, here you have the another one. So like this way you can work quite well. And also we'll just put it over here and just change the color to, so as you can see, as it is producing the light source, and here you have the darker region. It's also producing the second light source. As you can see, both are generating circle. We'll select the light and we'll delete the same. So we'll press 6, and here we have the area light. So area light by default has the intensity of 1, but it needs to be increased quite well. And if I press 6, 7, now you can see the area light. Area light is completely depends on intensity, as each and every light is dependent on intensity. But if you increase the size of the area, definitely it will just affect your scene. So if you are decreasing the size, definitely you have to work in intensity. If you're increasing it, you don't have to, and you have to just down this value to very low level. So we'll change the light somehow like this. So this is basically for window light. As you can see, here we have the mental ray node, and also if I just have a look, if you want to see the shape of the light, so you can see from here, use light shape, which is inside area light, inside the attribute editor, area light shape one. Okay, so as you can see, area light use light shape, and you should have to check the visible. And if you look at it, see, so if you increase the intensity, definitely it will just work like this. Okay, so if I change, get your render screen, and what we will get, let's see. So as you can see, this is like a softbox which is present inside Studio, especially the Photo Studio. So you can work like this. If you are not satisfied with the shape, you can just off the shape by simple going to area light, use shape off. Now you can see the shape. Okay, so like this way you can work. This is the last light which is present in Maya in Mental Tab, which is volume light. Just click over here. It is just like that of a Omni, but it has a higher volume, which is higher intensity as compared to the Omni. So as you can see, it's not dependent on your shape, and if you go nearby, your lighting will fall. Okay, so here you have the color, and like this way, go to shadow, depth map shadow, and also ray trace shadow. So definitely it will work on your shadow, and if you press T, you have the controls of light. If you press in this button, you have more controls. If you want to go to your previous, click over here, press W, and now you can move your light. So these are the features. And now as you have seen, we have covered the basics of light introduction chapter, and also you have the little bit idea about which light will affect, how much it will affect, and what would be the shape of the light. So let's meet to the next session for a detailed discussion about this pattern and all. Okay, so let's meet to the next session.